Welcome into this week's episode of Inside the Charge. Right guard O'Cyrus Torrence joins us. Torrence talks about year 2 in the NFL and why he's better prepared for the playoffs this time around, how the offensive line as a whole is playing out of their minds this season. We also get into the fact that Cybo bought a huge property this offseason with a lot of acres, what he plans to do with that space, why he loves fishing, a little bit about cooking, and maybe a cookbook on the way. All this and more in today's episode. You don't want to miss it. Cybo, thanks so much for taking the time to sit down with us as we move into the final weeks of the season. The playoffs are here.
Yeah.
You played in the postseason in your first year, your rookie season. What makes you better prepared for the playoffs in year 2?
I feel like just the intensity of the playoffs, I got a feel for it now after last year, and I just know a little bit more what to expect. Last year, I said it's kind of just going into it, expecting it to be like another game, another intense game, but it's a little bit more than that. Like, it's more energy, more emotion, so it's just more of a high-caliber game, and then each round just builds up. So the second round was more intense than the first round, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get even like more intense as we go deeper. So it's just giving me that experience. I feel like it's just the best type of like progression you can get, just having a raw experience.
You explained the energy, the emotion surrounding a playoff game. Is there anything that you have to do to manage that ahead of a game?
I like to keep it the same thing. I like to prepare the same way so the moment don't get too big, but I also like let the emotions like take over and do what they got to do. I let them flow through my body. I think about the good situations, think about the bad situations. I just let everything happen in my mind, and I just be okay with it to where when I go out there, I can still play as well as I've been all season or even better. So I feel like it's definitely more intense and a lot more to think about, but I try to let it get to me because it is just another game. Even though the what you call it, the reward is a bit bigger, but it's still like a regular game. So I keep my routine the same, but my emotions and stuff are a little bit more up there.
What does a pregame routine look like for O'Cyrus Torrence?
I if it's a away game, I get in like the second to last bus, and I just get in and I go straight and I walk around the locker room a little bit, my little fit on, so I still, kind of feel good a little bit. I go show Will and Jason, they been there stretching. I like to show them my little game they fit every now and then, just show my little range. But after I do that, I kind of go and sit in my locker, organize everything. Everything's down there organized, but I like to organize a little bit more. I put my gloves and my shoes and socks in one corner, make sure I'm right there, put my stuff that I'm finna put on right now in the other corner. And I kind of just set my mind before like what's finna happen. Then after that, take my clothes off, kind of put my other stuff on, stretch a little bit myself, go down, get stretched by Will and Jason again, then kind of just make my way and kind of slowly start to like just lock in, if that makes sense. Like I don't do too much. I don't like to over warm up because then it's like I get to the game and I burn out a little bit faster. That's something I had to learn from last year. Like I don't want to go out there and be sweating and tired in my warm up. And now it's like, I cool down, then I got to warm back up. Then it's like my body's like up and down a little bit. So I kind of keep my mind focused and just play the game out of my head, play a few plays out, walk around, listen to music, and kind of keep it simple. But once it's that 20 minutes for the game, kind of go out there before we go out there as a team. That's when I really lock in and kind of flip the switch.
You do something before the game that I think is incredible. You stop washing your hands a few hours before. Why do you do that?
Because my freshman year in college, I was late coming out at halftime because I had to use the bathroom and I had gloves on, and then I had time to wash my hands, so I kind of just went out there with the trainers who waited on me. And then I ended up having a good game. I finished the rest of the game with like 3 or 4 pancakes. I'm like, hold up, maybe it's something like I keep my hands dirty. Maybe I play a little bit better, play a little bit dirty and a little grimier. So that ended up turning into just a mentality of like playing dirty, like playing grimy, like the type of job I have up front, and like you got to get your hands dirty. Technically, like not saying I'm playing like a dirty player or playing as a like greedy like type of game. So and then ended up turning into me just not washing my hands, and then I kind of just started telling a few people, then it got out. But now it's sort of like, if it's a home game, it's in the morning, we play at 12, I wake up at like 8, I shower and I'll do everything then. But after that, once I get to the stadium, I stop washing my hands, I'm done. Like, if it's a game at night or something like that, like an hour before I get on the bus, I might stop. But if I had to, I would. But once I get on the bus and get to the stadium, it's no more of that. Like, no more of that clean, pretty stuff. Like
It's
it's
time to get
game
dirty.
time. It's time to get dirty. Like that's what I'm here for. So
I love it.
Yeah.
You mentioned the pregame fits. You have been putting it on this season, Cybo. I love the outfits. Is there one in your mind that you think just hit way more than the rest?
Probably I had a we gonna talk about it later, but I had a Dragon Ball Z jacket. It's like a denim jacket, and I had wore it for the Chiefs game, I believe. It was either that one or like a Venom jacket, but either one is like just a comic book like anime.
I know which
like,
one you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I just like that, and I like those because of material. And then like you don't see them too, like don't see nobody with it. It's probably either one of those or the one I wore last week when we played the Patriots the first time, the sleeveless one, because it was like
Yes.
almost -1 outside, but I'm out here with no sleeves on like a true Buffalo person, acting like I'm not cold, but I'm freezing. But I looked good in the pic, so I mean, it was worth it. But probably those two, the one I wore the Dragon Ball Z jacket or the one I wore sleeves, probably those two are my favorite.
What are you listening to pregame? What do you have in the pods?
It ranged from a lot of stuff. I could listen to rap, R&B, country, a little rock and roll, some little like just electrical music, instruments and stuff like that. Every now and then, like anime music might come on. So it all depends on what I feel, what I'm feeling when I hop in the truck on the way to the stadium or when I get on the bus. It's all like for me, I don't force a song. I just let my body like tell me what it want to listen to today. Who knows what it's gonna pick? But usually it always gets me ready.
What can we expect for the outfits for the playoffs? You got some stuff in mind already?
I do. I ain't gonna lie, I do.
All right.
I got a nice little blue jean jacket type fit I got for the first home game. Then after that, it's kind of up in the air. But I'm try to look nice for the first playoff game. So put a little something on. Nothing too major though.
Who are some guys who do it up well on the offensive line when we're talking about game day outfits?
Offensive line.
Yeah.
I'll say, not counting myself, I say Alec. I like nice little drip. I like his little style because it ain't nothing crazy, but it fits him, and it's like it's nice. It's like you can tell if somebody know how to like dress to what they like, and that's all I like to try to do when I put my fits on. So when I see somebody else doing it, I'm like, all right, I can respect it. Him and Dion, because Dion just you never know what he gonna come in wearing.
Yeah.
So it's always something wow with him. I think
Wearing or not wearing, I should say. Maybe we'll see a shirtless Dion for the playoffs
he might
coming
just
in.
might just wear his skin for his shirt. You never know. So, or he might wear the you have the Snow Motorsports whole one fit on. I like
The
that
onesie?
one with the race car helmet and stuff.
Yeah.
I like that one he wore. So I mean, you never know what Dion gonna wear. So it's already interesting.
You guys, as a group, the offensive line has been playing out of their minds this season. You have allowed 14 sacks on Josh Allen. That is a league low. Last year, you guys had a league low, 24 sacks. You allow 10 less this season. How have you been able to play at such a high level this year?
I know it's from just our communication and how we approached it day one in OTAs. Like just from how we started communicating, how much better it got, and like I feel like us coming in knowing like Dion's gonna be the starter, like Dave, and like just coming in knowing who's the starting like group was. It was easy for us to be able to come in and not worry about that part of the season. We can like, oh, who's gonna start and where are they? We just knew like we just go straight to communicating, like straight to the part we want to fix on. I feel like that's what we was able to do this year. We came in, we already knew what our problems was last year. We was able to just get straight to fixing on it, other than trying to find out new pieces to put in the puzzle. So I feel like that part led into us getting a fall camp and practicing against the defense, like how good our defense is. I feel like that's definitely a big part. Like D-line we go against, for me, like the type of style D-line play, I don't like to play that style, like the fast, jetting upfield, quick type of guys. It's not. I prefer to play more bigger, stronger type guys, because that's just more like that's what I like to block personally. So going to that type of defense definitely feel like helped me get better personally, like in my sets and coming off the ball, and I feel like that helped us like as a whole like communicate well, because coach didn't hold in the back and fall account calling certain blitzes and stuff like that day one. So I feel like that part definitely helped us out. And once we get on the field, it's like we know how Josh play from playing with him for so long after 2 years. So you just kind of get a feel for how to block the guy in front of you for a quarterback that's able to move at any moment.
Communicating well has been a big part of the play on the season this year. What has that communication looked like?
It's like Connor talking to Josh talking to us, we letting Josh know what we see, and it's just like a whole like orchestrated like operation, if that makes sense. Like we talking to the tight ends talking to us, so like everybody out there communicating. You see the receivers doing the hand signs, even though they're not able to verbally communicate, they're still signaling the signs from their positions, and then it just makes everything go smoother. And once everybody's on the same page, I feel like the only person that can stop is us.
In addition to keeping the pocket completely clean for your quarterback and Josh Allen, you guys have done a great job of opening up the holes for the running backs. James Cook leads the NFL in rushing touchdowns right now. Word on the street was that the running backs started to go into offensive line meetings this season, and that has been a big part of why this rushing offense has come alive. Why did the running backs and why did you guys want that to come together into one meeting?
Because with running back OLine, like that's a position like we depend on each other. Like as good as he do it, we got to be doing good, and as good as we're doing it, he got to be doing good. So when our OLine coach talked to us, like when he telling us stuff, and it was more so like we realized like, all right, if we fix this and the running back don't know we fixed it, is it really fixed? Like the running back can make a right cut, but because I missed my block, he think it's right cut, but it's not because I missed my block. So it's like being on the same page is something that we needed to do. So that's kind of where it started at, because a lot of plays you'll see like the running back would cut the ball too early, and it's a good cut, but he's not supposed to do it because I got beat, but he only did it because I got beat. So we need to let him know, like, all right, you did it right there, but the hole's supposed to be out here. So it's just us letting each other know, or me being on a block and he make the tackle, but it's like, oh no, running back was supposed to go there. He's supposed to take one step, then cut here. It's just small, like critique little things that's like can make or break a good run game, I honestly believe. So I feel like when we had games where we rushed a lot and had good games, we met as a group. But games we didn't rush our best, I noticed like we didn't meet like that week. So it's like it happened like twice, 2 or 3 times this year where we didn't meet. And we may have won a game, but our rushing wasn't as good. And it's like, what's going on? The coach was like, we didn't meet his offense. And I'm thinking like, it can't be just that. But as the season goes on, if we met with them, we keep meeting with them, we have good games up to meet with them, and it's like, maybe it is. We just got to keep staying on the same page. And it's honestly just that simple.
The playoffs are here. Week 18, the final week of the season. Nobody, Saibo, is playing at 100% right now. It's just, it doesn't happen in the league when it's this long of a season. How are you guys healthy and playing your best right now?
I feel like it's because of like the coaches and like the people we have here. Like coach understands the part of the season we in, so I feel like he been kind of helping us with practice. Like this week, practice wasn't too bad, and we don't hit as much. Like we learn how to practice with each other. Even though like some days last week we had pass, but it's more so we have pass on the ended then one team period, then we take them off. Or like we keep passing on the whole time, but we practicing with each other. We're not hitting too hard, and I feel like us offensive line wise, Coach Crone talked about it yesterday. Like we know how to play with each other, so we don't finish guys on each other's ankles and stuff like that. We play smart, and like you play for your teammates, and it's like kind of not playing selfish, because as offensive line, you want to pancake somebody, but a lot of times it can cost the teammate's ankle, honestly. So you see stuff like that in the game. We just kind of learn how to play with each other, and I feel like that's definitely helped us stay like kind of healthy for the most part. And just also like I feel like everybody here takes seriously like the extra time we get, like letting our practice, we go home and like we like recover, we sleep, and I feel like that's been showing because we have been more healthy, I think, this year than last year. But it's also have a, like work hand in hand with how many people you see in the training room after practice. Like I'm pretty sure there's still guys in there right now working out after we've been done with practice almost an hour. So I feel like that part of it has definitely like shown with us being able to stay like had not too many crazy bad injuries.
How many hours of sleep are you trying to get every night?
I try to get at least 8, but
Nice.
I get like 6 or 7.
Yeah. But
I'd be lucky
eight
to
on
get
a
7.
good night.
When I get 8, I be feeling like I always get 8 on game days. Like night for the game, especially if it's a 12 o'clock game, I have to get at least 8 because I know like I'm finna burn through all the energy real fast. So I try to get 8 on those days, but for the most time I get 6 or 7.
You spoke about the offensive line working together, and in working together, you have to know what is everybody's strengths. Your strength is that you're 6'5", you're 330, you're a big offensive lineman, but you have such light feet. You move so quickly. How have you been able to grow in your second year in this league?
I feel like I had to learn how to, I want to say switch it up, but get out of ruts when I get in. I'm like, happened after the bye week where it was like just take some of the past sets. You do the same thing. Some of the times you get so used to it, you stop taking the details of it seriously and it start throwing you off a little bit. And for me, it's more so like being able to refocus when I notice my set stuff kind of fall off a little bit after 2 games. I'm not setting as good as I was 4 games before. So to kind of refocus, I just look at some old film and kind of just like center myself again and kind of go back to the basics. So I think that's something I learned to do this year because last year I kind of just kept my head down and kept pushing, even though I hit the rookie wall back to back and
real.
just trying to go out there and play the best I can. On Saturday, I had Mitch, I had these older guys I'm playing around, still getting used to everybody. So it's just like I'm just trying not to drown, but more so now it's like I can just kind of relax and focus and keep the main thing mentally, because physically, like everybody gonna feel the same. But I think mentally is where you separate yourself in this part of the season. So mentally, I feel like I'm definitely like in a better area and space than I was last year.
Is there a game you like to go back to when you like to watch tape of yourself?
The Chiefs game, and the Chiefs game, the Lions in Houston.
You guys played so well in those games. I mean, those were 2 huge games. This team is the first team in NFL history to beat 2 14-win teams in a season. You beat the 15-1 Chiefs, you beat the 14-2 Lions, and the rushing offense looks great. The passing offense looks great. A lot of that is because of you guys working together as a unit. Why does your quarterback, Josh Allen, deserve to be this year's MVP?
I feel like if we've been honest since like week 8, week 9, something like that. Before our bye week, he was breaking a record every week. Like every time I get on Instagram, it's like, oh, Josh Allen first QB to do this in the last 40 years. He the first QB to do this in the last just NFL started since the Super Bowl era. So it's like, I understand like there's a bunch of great guys around the league, but I mean, I'm definitely gonna be biased towards my guy. But also just looking at the stats and looking at the teams we played and walking in, I noticed like our winning rate. Like we lost besides the 2 games we lost, it's like one other game we only scored less than 30 points. Other games we scored at least 30 points, like in all our games. And it's like we're not just throwing the ball. Like we running it, quarterback running it. Like everything's moving in motion. I feel like Josh is at the center of all that. And I feel like somebody putting up numbers like that, you can't help yourself but to argue to your last breath about why you should be an MVP. And that's why I think he should be, because I mean Josh Allen is my QB and he's been playing at a high level since the season started.
This year, this unit has been playing at such a high level, but last year the offensive line also played so well. And if you try to connect the dots, a lot of the dots go to your position coach and Aaron Kramer. Mm-hmm. What makes him so capable of elevating the play of so many young men?
Because I feel he's the best coach, or at least one of the best coaches I've been around, to figure a player out so fast and then let them play to their strength and just coach them up off that. And not to knock any other coach, but that way I feel like just resonates better with a lot of guys, especially now in the league, towards you got so many different egos. Like some guys here with kids, some guys not, some guys been at the top of the league, some guys been like kind of low, been hurt, and like been down and out. So it's like being able to figure a player out and see what's the best way to get through to him and let him block how he wants to block. Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely like a confidence thing that the coach gives to the player to help them go out there and play your best. Because if you're going out there, you playing for your coaches that's playing for you, you're definitely going to play way harder. And I think that's like some of the success to me, because I don't go out there, I don't just play for myself, I play for the guys on the side of me and my coaches. So I feel like when you got somebody like that you playing for, it's going to make you elevate your game to a level that you probably don't even think you know. So I think that's definitely a reason why he's one of the best coaches I've been around.
Well, it's been so fun to watch this group this season. I want to move into something that you love to do in your free time. It's watching anime. Do you have a favorite show right now? Are there any shows that you always go back to?
I got 2 shows I'm always putting on to, like, one I put on to go to sleep at nighttime and one I have on if I want to walk around is called Bleach and Hunter x Hunter. Mm-hmm. I watch Bleach at night just to go to sleep because like the music in the show just kind of relaxing and soothing. It's just a nice little show. And Hunter x Hunter is just it's one of the shows I started watching outside of like the main like anime shows that I grew up with, like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. Hunter was like one of the first shows that I branched out into that opened me up to like, oh, it's other good shows out here too. It's not just the same ones that I knew. So I think those 2 are my favorite. And I mean, I'm just into watching all different types of them now, honestly. I've been watching them since middle school, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who else on the team can match your level of love for anime?
I definitely think probably Greg Russo. He's definitely one of them. Honestly, it's a lot of D linemen that watch it.
I
I'm like
know.
defensive guys in general, but I know it's more D linemen that watch it than offensive linemen. Like, there's no. I think maybe one of the offensive linemen that watch it with me is I think Big Mike.
Yeah.
And that's it. So it's like it's more of a thing for defensive players. It's crazy to me, but I think more, unless a lot of the guys on defense that like it, but I definitely think Greg or Big Mike probably be one of the guys that know it. I love it just as much as I do, probably.
You've got a beautiful house on 14 acres. This is something you bought in the off season last year. What are you going to do with 14 acres?
I'm gonna just sit out there and watch the sunset every evening. Oh, I got a pond out there like the fishing, and it's just relaxing, just being out there. And whether people know it or not, Buffalo in the spring and in the summer is perfect. Like,
Yes.
it's not too hot, it's not humid, the wind's blowing. It's like I could sit out there and just take a nap in the sun and not wake up sweating or in a pile of ate up by mosquitoes like I would be back home. So I definitely enjoy it. And later on in the year, I'm gonna try to start at least get a 4-wheeler or something so I can start riding around out there to be able to see some of the more land I got. But I mean, for right now, I'm just enjoying the view, and right now it's snow everywhere, so that looks good too. So I like it.
Oh, that's awesome. Is Cece, your cat, fishing with you in this pond?
No, she don't. I let her go outside a little bit, and she stand around and just run around and just look at me like, "Why I'm out here?" So I just leave her inside.
She's an indoor cat?
She'll go outside, but she too jumpy to stay out there too long. So she just likes to stay inside, which I don't mind. I mean, there's less stuff I got to clean up, so I let her stay inside.
You love cats so much. You've got 14, 15 acres. I think maybe this needs to become like a sanctuary for cats who need to be adopted or just stray cats. You got a lot of land, Cybo.
I'll definitely start putting out bowls of food in my front yard to see some stray cats to come out there. But I think if I do that, it'll be more deer and stuff going to eat the food right now than cats. But that is a good idea. Just buy a few cats, just put them outside, have them like outside the house, and have them like outside cats.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
I'm looking down the road and I'm just thinking like you've got this pond, you got some cats outside, maybe you get some chickens, like Cybo on a farm.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna write that one down. I did like grew up around like farm animals and stuff like that, so having like chickens or like cows, something like that on the land, always been something I kind of low-key wanted to do. It's just all about getting it started.
You got the space.
I got the space now. I just got to get it in motion.
Why not?
Why not?
You also love to cook. Have we tried out any new recipes this season?
Any new recipes? Nothing new, just perfecting the stuff I already know how to make. Like, I already know how to make gumbo, but I made some for Thanksgiving. I made it better than I had before.
Ooh.
I made some red beans and rice for Christmas.
What's the secret ingredients here? Why are they better than you've ever made them before? Can't reveal.
It's the process. It's not necessarily what I put in it. It's how I put it together. That makes sense. So I can explain it, but it still might go over your head. So
Probably will go over mine.
Not necessarily. Just anybody in general, because they won't get it. You gotta prep the food instead of just make it. A real chef understand, but yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a real chef, so maybe I don't fully understand that.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So I mean, but I love to cook and just look up different recipes. But like it's like when I get to this part of the season, I just go ahead and cook what I know that's good instead of just freestyling. But whenever the off-season come back around, I get time at OTAs, I'm definitely gonna open back up to where just freestyling, making stuff, trying stuff out, adding new stuff to my recipes, because I'm gonna try to make a small little cookbook for next Christmas. Ooh. And then try to like get it printed out and then pass it around the guys up in here just to see what they would do. Like make it like 10, 15 pages of like stuff I cook like every week in simple meals, and then see how it does, and then trying to go from there. But
I love it.
I'm gonna
Sell
definitely
it to
try
the
to
people.
like that. Yeah, just something small.
Cybo's cookbook. Everybody would love it.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question for you. This team is at a great point right now. This group has come together in a lot of ways. You talk to players and they say the locker room is tight. We're having a great time. We're having a lot of fun. It's just different this season. What do you think this group is capable of as we head into the playoffs, Cybo?
I think we're capable of doing anything that we all collectively want to do and put our mind to, whether that's being making it all the way and winning it, or doing this and then some. I feel like no matter what it is, and I think we all know what it is we want.
Yeah.
So we all just kind of one mind, one goal, focus on going to that, and can't nothing stop us but us.
We're cheering for you. We can't wait. It's going to be so fun to watch y'all as the postseason begins. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to have y'all for having me on.
Of course,
yes.
Of course. All right, stay tuned for another episode of Inside the Charge coming soon.